Welcome to Straight to VOD, the number one place where you can get movie reviews for movies that nobody else is talking about. And today we're going to be talking about the new mystery thriller, Detained. Detained was directed by Felipe Mucci, who has also done Two Deaths of Henry Baker and Vlado. A woman wakes up in a police interrogation room with no memory of the night prior. However, something doesn't quite seem right in this police station. The woman then tries to unravel the mystery surrounding her before it's too late. So lately there has been a lot of discussion on whether or not we can see new movies nowadays without being totally spoiled. And I feel like that sentiment of not wanting to be spoiled with movies has really hit its all-time with the last couple of films that have released recently, that being Deadpool and Wolverine and the new M. Night Shyamalan film, Trap. Both those movies, if you watch all the trailers that were released for them films, you would know pretty much everything that's about to happen in that film, and it would feel like you kind of just got everything spoiled for you and there's all the excitement is gone. Now for me personally, I'm not the kind of person that it gets bothered by spoilers. To me, it doesn't really affect my first time experience watching the film because I feel like it's a little bit different to you actually experiencing that quote-unquote spoiler yourself and seeing how it affects the movie for you than just knowing what is actually going to happen. That's just me though. I know that there is a lot of people out there, maybe even you watching this video, who don't really like spoilers and want to avoid them at all costs. I totally get that and I can see where you're coming from, but I feel like you're probably hating this nowadays modern movies and the way that they do the advertisement and stuff, because we even got popcorn buckets that are going to spoil the movie for you. It's nowhere safe for you. And I say all of that because Detained is one of those films where you don't want to be spoiled. You don't want to know what the big reveal, the big twist is for this film. And I think whoever did the advertising for this film did a pretty good job, because even watching the trailer, you will get a little bit misled and misdirected with what is actually going to unfold in this film. And that's a good thing. Now, whether or not the twist in this film is actually worth hiding is another thing which we will talk about later. But let's get into the film Detained. Now, admittedly, the biggest thing that jumped out with me with this film was the cast. I saw familiar faces in here, you know, some people from like Umbrella Academy, My Name is Earl, Prison Break, and even The Boys, and I was like, okay, this cast is stacked. And, you know, usually when I see a film that has the Quiver logo coming before it, I get scared that we're in for some really bad dialogue and acting. But I'm glad I took a gamble on this one, and the performances in this film are actually pretty good. Probably a little bit too good for a Quiver distributed film. You know, maybe this is a sign of a good thing, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And this film is very heavily carried by its cast, and the standouts being Laz Alonso and Abbie Cornish. They do an amazing job in this film. They're the primary people that we're following throughout this entire film, and like I said, they're kind of carrying the entire plot. So if they're not good, then the rest of the movie would fall apart. But luckily, they're perfect and they're amazing in their roles. Even though some of the time the dialogue in this film is bad. I mean, you know, it's a Quiver film, so I was expecting something to be bad. But like I said, the actors in this film do a good job. They're seasoned enough, they know what they're doing, so that when even the dialogue is bad, you can kind of see that they're trying to save it. At least, you know, the charisma comes through the film, and you kind of was like, okay, you know, that was a really terrible line, but, you know, they're doing amazing, so you gotta give them some props. But the number one thing that you came here for was wondering if the twist was worth it. Is it good? And I will say that even though that the twist is kind of very predictable, I did find myself kind of smiling and kind of proud of myself that I figured out what the twist was before they revealed it. And I was like, yeah, you know, I did it. I did. And I know for some people that might be a little bit of turn off, that you can figure out the twist so early on in the film. But I feel like if you watched a lot of movies in your lifetime, you're gonna probably figure out where this movie is going to lead to. But like I said, it doesn't really affect the story in the movie as a whole, because you got these great performances by these actors, and the story is interesting enough where you are like, okay, I kind of can see where this is going, but I want to know how it ends. I will say that one of the best things in this film for me is the way that they use small amounts of dialogue to flesh out certain characters. Like, there's a lot of characters in this film and they don't get a lot of screen time other than our main leads. And some of the times they have these little interactions that are just, like I said, small bits of dialogue, but they give so much information and so much backstory to these characters where you end up knowing how they act and how their personality is. And it's really amazing to me. I don't know why I'm so amazed by it. Maybe you'll watch it and be like, hey, it wasn't that amazing. But to me, I was like, wow, they actually gave me a lot of information for this character just with those 2 minutes or 3 minutes of this interaction between these two actors. I don't know, maybe it's just I gotta give more credit for these actors because they did such a good job in this film. Or maybe it's just because the last film that I watched was The Girl in the Pool with Freddie Prinze Jr. And that was bad. Acting in that one was very, very terrible. So maybe I'm just surprised by people doing decent acting. But overall, I think this is worth the watch. This is worth pulling out your wallet and paying that $6.99 that I did for the HD version of this. I hate that they split the HD and the SD version for these films on Amazon Prime. That's where I purchased it. It's kind of lame that they do that, but I do think it is worth your time and money. Yeah, the twist is very predictable, but I do think that the performances and the way that the story unfolds is definitely worth your time. But of course, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you check out Detained? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of the performances? Were they actually good? Am I just crazy? Did I think that the performances were just, did I overblown the performances? Were they really just like okay? Or were they actually really that good? Let me know in the comments down below. But as always, guys, don't forget to check out all the movie reviews that I have for movies that you probably haven't heard of. And if you like this kind of thing of a person talking about movies that nobody else is talking about, be sure to subscribe to the channel because we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. I know it's small, but we're getting there. But as always, guys, keep watching movies.